Hello YouTube, hey Facebook, it's me again. I want to talk about something that's very important, or a couple important points about relationships. First thing I'm going to say is this. Studs, we do have a man's mentality. Femmes, I don't want you to get that twisted. I don't want you to think that we're pretending. We're not. It's just something that comes with who we are, and it's not a bad thing. But one key thing in a relationship that's very important is communication. Communicating with each other, no matter how silly the issue may be or how silly the matter is, it's a good thing to sit down and communicate. When you're communicating with each other, you're open, honest about everything that goes on in your relationship, everything as far as feelings and everything. When you're in tune with your partner and your partner's in tune with you, then there's nothing. You have a strong foundation. When you have trust, when you have honesty, when you have loyalty, when you have all of those combinations together, man, you have a wonderful relationship. A lot of times, some femmes are afraid to communicate, and then you have studs who are afraid to communicate. And the reason I'll say that the studs are afraid to communicate is because of the man mentality that we have. We feel that, okay, our pride is going to be hurt if we communicate with our lady about what we're feeling, and it makes us less of a person if we communicate and we say what we're feeling. Actually, it doesn't. What it does is it builds a stronger foundation between you and your mate. And another thing that helps a relationship out is when you take the singleness out of the relationship. When you join with another person for a partnership or a relationship, it no longer is an I, it's a we. It becomes a joint thing. It's just kind of like being married, except you haven't got married yet, so it becomes a we. And when it's a we, it's me and you, two people coming together to work it out. And when you keep the single mindset out of your relationship and the both of you work toward becoming one, life is so beautiful, life is sweet. The relationship, yes, you still have your problems, your issues, but you work them out. And I think the biggest issue is our studs. We are so afraid to open up to our women. And when we're afraid to open up to our women, we keep all our feelings on the inside. And we build a wall. When we build that wall, we then we're making it harder for our women to come in tune with us. And sometimes, you'll have where the femme might say, oh, well, I've been hurt, so my guard is up. Okay, you have studs who have guards up too. And when you have your guards up, that doesn't make it any better either. You have to work on the relationship. The guards should come down. Once you're comfortable with your mate, the guards should come down. That's why it's good to always talk every day with your partner. It's always good to say, hey, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Because you want to know what she's feeling, and she wants to know what you're feeling if she's really in tune with you. If you're really in tune with her, you're going to want to know what she's feeling. You're going to want to know what she's feeling. She's going to want to know what you're feeling. And when the two of you can communicate about anything, life is grand. I'm not saying that you're not going to have your little disagreements, because you will. But when you learn that you have someone there that has your back and sincerely has your back, and you have her back, and without a question or without a doubt, we in this together and we're gonna take the punches and we're gonna keep it moving. That's a relationship. You know, a lot of times, you know, people are so quick to say, well, if I were you, I wouldn't deal with this I would just let it go. But it's not always like that. You know, you're gonna have your problems, you're gonna have your disagreements, but communication is what keeps the balance. Communication, guys. I'm serious here. Like, you have to learn how to communicate. Even being single, when you going out and you're on a date with a female, I mean, you gotta communicate. You gotta sit there. You gotta talk to her. She's gotta talk to you, and y'all are learning each other. And then from the conversation, you'll know whether, hey, second date or no. You know, it's just like that. And even with friendships, you have to communicate, right? So, hey, communication, relationship, partnership, friendship, whatever. Communication is just an important key in the world, period. But it works better in a relationship. We have to be able to open up and express what we feel. And sometimes it's harder to do than other times. But when you do it, it's like, man, it's like some unreal stuff. Like, you know, I've been known to communicate, and I'm good. I'm big on that. My thing is always, hey, communicate with me. Tell me what you're feeling. I want to know what you're feeling. Hey, I need to know what you're feeling, because if you're not happy, I need to know. Because then that means I need to go back to the drawing board and I need to figure some things out and figure out, okay, where did it go wrong? And I need to work on that. And if I go to her and say, hey, this is what's getting to me, this is what's bothering me, then if she really truly cares about me, then she needs to work on that too. It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Now, ladies, let me tell you something. Studs, we have feelings too. We are not weak. We are very strong. But we have feelings too. We have periods, just like y'all have. We go through our mood swings just like you do. There are times we don't want to be bothered, just like you do. We get irritated, frustrated, all of that. We cry, just like you do. And it bugs me when I hear a woman say, oh, you shouldn't cry. Excuse me, I'm still a woman. I'm gonna cry. You know, I'm not a man. May act like one, but I'm not a man. So you can't always expect to keep throwing darts at us and expect us never to say anything or react to it. It's only but so much that a stud is going to take before they go off. And like I said, even though we are studs, we still have the same feelings that you have. We still go through the same things that you go through, and we deal with them. We just sometimes deal with them differently than what you women would go through them or deal with them. You know, we have our way of doing them. Sometimes we just like to be to ourselves, and we're secluded. And you know, yes, we do cry. Why? We're human. We are women. This other thing that gets me is how you have studs who go and get pregnant. I support you. If that's something that you want to do it. There's nothing wrong with a stud being pregnant. People are so quick to be judgmental. You have women saying, well, hey, she a stud, so why is she pregnant? Mind your business. She pregnant because she want to be pregnant. You don't know. You can't say that she laid down with a man. You don't know what she did to get pregnant. And it's nothing wrong with a stud getting pregnant if that's what she wants to do. Why? Because maybe her partner can't have a baby. So if the partner can't have the baby, it would be no more than fair for the stud to carry the baby. But hey, that's another subject. But it's just so amazing to me how, you know, people are just so judgmental and people don't know how to communicate. I have been guilty of being not as communicative as I should have been. You know, I have a tendency of sometimes when feelings really hit me, it's sometimes hard for me to communicate them. Yeah, I'll get afraid, I'll get scared, and I just don't say it. And then it'll either hurt me or harm me. But I've learned that it's okay for rejection. It's okay to say what you have to say and just let it go. You know, and sometimes we as studs feel that because we carry a man's mentality or because we're hard, that we can't be open with our women. We can. And I really strongly suggest any stud that's out here on the dating scene or looking for a woman, try communicating. I don't care what it's about. Just try communication. Try talking to them. You know, and I promise you it will work out if it's meant to be. Every woman that you come across or every woman that you talk to, you know, you don't know if she's really your queen until after time, you know, over time, because you have to really get to know people nowadays. You know, it's not like, hey, back in the old days where people got married when they was 15 and they're still married today. It's not like that. But in this day and time, you want to know everything about the person that you're getting in a relationship with, and they want to know things about you too. Now, I will tell you this, ladies, your past is your past. If you've been through a hard breakup, sweetheart, let that stay right where it is in the past. Don't bring it to your present relationship. Studs, if you was in a relationship and you got hurt, leave that in the past. Don't bring it to your future relationship because it damages your relationship. A lot of people don't believe that, but when you bring your past into your future relationship, it damages your relationship. It hurts your relationship. It takes the fire. It smothers it just takes the fire out. And a lot of times we got to understand these things. Like we look at it and we say, okay, well, this happened to me before. For instance, okay, I know in one of my relationships, I made a statement. I cannot even remember what the statement was, but I made a statement. And my woman at the time said, you know what? Been there, had it said to me, oh, I'm going to shut down on you. And my thing was to her, don't shut down. How am I supposed to know? Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry. Hey, let's keep moving. And when once you leave once you say, okay, the past is the past, and you work on your future, leave it there. A lot of times there are going to be some things in your present that may be something that you've heard in your past, but you don't shut down. You tell the person, look, I've had this happen to me in my past before, and it wasn't the best. and you get over that, you know? You get over it and you work on it, you know? It's not